Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. It took 5 years, but Zero has finally been released in Reboot. So today we're leveling everyone's favorite twin to level 200 in Reboot. We don't have much on this server though, a level 166 Kana, a level 70 Mercedes and an Evan for the Link skills, so this is going to be a tough one. But being a twin myself, I have high hopes for this class. Heck, even my fiancée is a twin, but we still have a long journey ahead of us. So let's see if this class is a twinner or a Zero. Zero takes everything you know about MapleStory, wraps it up, puts some nice gift wrapper around it, then sets it on fire and throws it out the window. Like job advancements? Nah. Starting at level 1? Nope. Regular skills and playstyle? Nah. Zero starts off at level 100 in the mirror world and is stuck there up until a certain point. You can exit if you want, but you won't get any EXP from monsters in the regular Maple world up until you reach a certain point in the story. If you're a Zero, you're keeping yourself busy running around to various Maple towns, but with a small twist, because after all, it is the mirror world. You'll be busy collecting items and defeating monsters in special dungeons. There are no regular fields when you're a Zero. There's just endless dungeons and the occasional math question. I really had to change my mindset when playing this class, like I'm so used to blasting my way to level 200, but this class takes things slow and it's very story heavy. You don't want to just endlessly skip through the whole story, like this is part of the reason why you play this class, because you're probably into that. Or you just want a decent link skill and legion effect, that's also possible. Like Zero's link skill reduces incoming damage and increases ignore defense, pretty good. While his legion effect increases EXP gained, and that's also super useful when you're, for example, leveling up multiple characters. Zero's link skill is leveled up through the story though, so we have to stick to it all the way up until level 180. At times it will feel like you're making zero progress because the pacing of this class is just so different. But then you sing for a crying horntail and you just find that little sparkle of hope that there are more good scenes like that, and you continue anyway. Zero's weapon is also quite unique. The weapon upgrades every 10 levels and can be cubed by spending weapon points and mesos. The bonus stats can be changed this way as well. Every 10 levels you can upgrade your weapon and it will grow a bit stronger. The weapon points you can collect from the dungeons that you do anyway while completing through the story. There are a total of 8 chapters, with each having 5 parts to complete, and there's a final chapter which is just a boss battle, so there's plenty of opportunity to collect those weapon points. By the way, if you are enjoying this training to 200 video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more content. Make sure to ring that bell notification to stay up to date when new videos go live. Now, I know that my Reboot account still needs to get, a bit higher legion, some link skills here and there, so I can actually start doing some damage, but my god, it feels like I'm really doing zero damage sometimes. The monsters are so tanky. And like everything with Zero, even their skills are pretty unique. Zero uses a tag system where you can tag between both twins and uses a string of skills. Thankfully for me, I played a ton of Tekken Tag Tournament back in my day, so I'm really good at tagging and bowling. The comboing does take a bit to get used to though, and until you unlock the skills Giga Crash and Wind Cutter, it might sometimes not feel that nice to play Zero, but the higher level you get, the more skills you unlock and the more fun it becomes. Zero plays a bit like if Dawn Warrior and Blaster had a baby and you gave that baby some speed. Yeah, that's Zero. You can't just mindlessly mash your skill buttons. There are certain combos that can be used to gain the maximum damage efficiency. Most Zero skills link into each other or activate other different parts of a different skill. When tagging in and out, there's also a small cooldown that you have to keep in mind, so you can be pressing one button but whoops, you just tagged out and now you can't use those skills anymore for a second, so you really need to keep that in mind when playing. Thankfully Zero does have a ton of built-in healing and basically 2 health bars, so you can spend more time looking at your skills than looking at the rest of the screen. This can be off-putting for some Maples, but yes, Zero does require a bit more attention and focus than some other classes when training. You will need to combo your skills properly. Then again, this is the first time I'm training a 0 to 200. I did play one earlier, but it was like years ago, so I had to learn all the combos again, and I do feel that at the end of the video I did get a little bit better at some of them though, but I still make mistakes occasionally. Zero does require a bit more practice to figure out completely, but once you get everything down, I'm sure you can play this class solely on muscle memory. You don't have to worry too much about playing with the perfect combos until you reach a higher level anyway. Zero is quite flexible when it comes to their combos, and they can like tag and use different skills, so you can combine different skills depending on the situation. We reached level 122 and I was able to leave the mirror world for the very first time. At this point in the story it is possible to get EXP in the Maple world. This unlocks when you're about to start the Hanoy's questline. So we went for a quick Zakun battle in hopes of some nice boss drops, but alas, no luck this time. Zero does require a bit more practice when bossing as well, because most of the skills from one of the twins will displace you, so you have to be a bit more careful there. At level 140 we also started upgrading a weapon with the weapon points that we collected so far. We're also wearing the Pencila set now, and we bought the internal time emblem from the coins that can be found in the dungeons. I also bought a badge box that was pretty interesting. I was like, what's that all about? But the stats are random, so it just isn't that useful. Like, Todd's badge is pretty good already. At this point I also started to notice that leveling isn't going that fast anymore. Like, the dungeons in the mirror world are not giving you enough EXP. They're all locked behind certain levels, and I don't want to do dungeons like all day. But hey, since Zero apparently loves questing so much, figured we might as well complete the wanted sign quests in Korean Folktown for some additional levels and mesos. We actually gained 5 levels there, which was pretty nice. In Reboot, the monsters do have a ton more HP, but they also give a lot more EXP compared to the regular server. I actually wonder if you go on a clean account and you train in Reboot and you train in the regular server up until level 200, I wonder which one would be faster. That might be a fun experiment to do one day. Anyway, we continue our adventure and get duped by this evil lady. At this point we collected 3 of the goddess teardrops. I need 2 more to become the god of time and kick some black mage ass. Like I said earlier, this was my first time in like 40 years that I played Zero, and I was like doing normal Horntail, and then remember what I said about those displacement skills. Yeah, if you rush into Horntail still, it isn't that good for your health. So when you're fighting bosses like Horntail, you have to use different skill rotations and focus a bit more on beta and not finishing alpha skill rotations all the time, so you don't get teleported around after, for example, using Shadow Strike. But hey, in the end we did manage to take down Horntail, so we got that going for us. And then it was time for an emergency maintenance, because those happen as well. And you know, I have this love-hate relationship with emergency maintenances. Like, I really want to play MapleStory, but hey, those level up potions for compensation aren't that half bad either. We gained 3 levels, which is not too shabby. We continue powering through the dungeons in Ludibrium this time, and oh man, the dialogues in this questline are really funny sometimes. The final area is the Temple of Time. How fitting, as it also took a really long time to reach level 200. We fight the final boss of the questline and finally we're free! And what we do with our newfound freedom? Well, we're so used to being stuck in quest lines, we might as well do another team dungeon, right? So we go to Savage Terminal to help Detective Raven solve his case. If you are into the MapleStory lore, and especially the lore of this area, I do recommend clearing this team dungeon. It is a good setup for the story that's about to come and introduces some vital characters, like the next update that's coming in the summer of 2021 will be sort of a follow-up on this one as well. But hey, even outside the Zero Mirror World dungeons, it still takes forever to defeat monsters. Well, we gotta build up that Reboot account one way or another, right? And after we had our fun in the questline, we grind a bit in Futureperion. I'm not very strong, but we did use one of those event pills that boost our damage against normal monsters by 30%, so we can at least train a bit faster. We also unlocked our Legion board. Finally, Legion, my old friend. How much I missed you. Now we can just get a little bit stronger through this as well. By the way, there is another dungeon in the mirror world called Critios. You can enter this one 3 times a day, and the monsters here scale based on your level. They give a ton of EXP, but are quite difficult to defeat. You can use those higher level dungeons to farm weapon points and coins in case you're still needing those, while also being able to get some decent EXP. We also do some additional monster park runs, defeat Hilla, Horntail, Ramaru. You know, now that we are a bit stronger and I had some practice on this class, bossing isn't half that bad. I still need to dive a bit more into the most optimal combos, but hey, we can get the job done, so that's pretty cool. And Zakum dropped both the eye and face accessory this time. What a crazy turn of events. Am I getting lucky in MapleStory? But hey, after all that bossing, it's time to put some theme into our dungeon once again, and we complete the Fox Valley team dungeon for the millionth time. And then afterwards continue our regular training regime at Desert Rocky Road. We train the remaining 7 levels here and wrap things up in Scrapyard. You know, we started questing and we're also gonna end this with a quest. You know, for the 5th job advancement you need to have 100 Star Force, but actually getting Star Force is a piece of cake in Reboot. That's actually pretty nice. Alright, it's time for that good old 5th job. The first skill that I want to cover is a passive attack. Triggers automatically every 15 seconds, and depending which one of the twins is attacking, an additional attack pops out. Pretty straightforward, pretty nice, some additional DPS. There is Shadow Flash, which places a sanctuary on the ground dealing damage, and if the skill isn't on cooldown you can replace the sanctuary. Both Alpha and Zero have their own little sanctuary that they can use, and pressing the skill again while it is on cooldown makes it explode, dealing damage as well. The third skill is Twin Blade of Time, where we do a nice little dance, performing all our combos for a nice finisher. You have to hold this button down. You also are invincible during the entire cast duration, which can be pretty useful for dodging certain boss attacks. And finally there is Chrono Break, which changes the background of the map and binds monsters. After using the skill for 30 seconds, skill cooldowns are reduced and your attack speed and final damage is increased. Your attack speed actually increases by 2 stages, which is pretty sick. And if monsters are still alive after the duration ends, it does a large portion of damage again. It's a pretty great skill for bossing if you ask me. And those were the Twins of Destiny. What do you think about Zero? Is this class something for you, or are you just getting one for the Legion effect and Link skills? As always, many thanks to our members for making this video possible. Thanks to Quin, Niels to Coninck, Raar, maar waar, Shin125, Sebastian, Hanoy, FLX, Jeff Wang, Pinky Traveler, Terry Kim, Jiju, Galaxy Art, Roderiguez, Zaiquiri, Matias, Simonsson, Varees, Ryaiser, Aryu, Dries Zumker, Plux, Zenny, Narakumo, Wiley, Ziggy Kevin Han, Francisco Salsa, History Canon, Backspace OTI, Riley Frank, Milkcha, Chimek, Saffronix, Lonzo, BG Extremes, Caveman, oh yeah, and Harry Gardner. Thank you all so much for becoming members. This really helps keeping the channel afloat and helps me pay some bills as well. If you'd like to mention it here as well and get early access to new videos, check out the join button below this video. That was all for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling.